Ian McFarlane is a member for Groom. Ian has been a champion to this cause, providing very clear support for women's rights. Would you please welcome Ian McFarlane?
Well, thanks very much. Last time I was at a rally like this, there were farmers out there everywhere shouting at George Bush, so it's great to see how the other half comes and does it, and you're doing a fantastic job. When I used to be a farmer, you'd lie in bed, and sometimes the first you knew of an approaching storm was faint thunder. And the thunder got a bit louder, and a bit louder, and a bit louder, and then the lightning started, and if you were lucky it rained as well. When I was coming across from Sydney this morning on the plane, I heard something that Kevin Rudd should feel is like thunder. I heard babies crying. And the closer we got, the more they cried, the louder they cried, the harder they cried. And I thought, if I was Kevin Rudd, I'd be taking a lot of notice of the people who are with these babies. And that's you, who've come here in your thousands to stand up for a basic right. Nothing else, just a basic right. The answer to this question is as simple as the issue is complex. Home birthing isn't for everyone. It's not for my family, it's not for my wife. We had babies in hospitals. But I will defend the right of women to make the choice. So whilst it's a complicated question, the answer is simple. It is yes. And it's yes to any woman who wants to make that decision. Can I firstly congratulate you all for coming here, but can I also in that acknowledge, of course, people like Liz Wilkes, who first came into my office and had to change my mind, a task she was more than up to. It took her 3 years, but she achieved it. And she achieved it in the end by saying to me, this is a choice for women to make. It's not a choice for politicians. So what we need to do now is keep up the pressure. Keep doing what you've been doing, but don't step back. The answer that you want from the government is that they treat you like they treat everyone else. If they've got the money to put pink bats in houses, they've got the money to let you have your babies in that house. Stay strong, don't stop, and it's great to see you here. Thank you.
Oh, hello. just pat that. Now that I've abused the Shadow Minister for Health, he's here. Peter Dutton, Shadow Health Minister, member for Dixon, taking the time to come and speak to us this morning. Please honour him.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for turning out in your thousands today. I was here before when I was pointed out for some criticism, but I had to skirt my way all the way around the crowd. I couldn't find the easy way to the front. When I did that, I didn't see Nicola Roxon anywhere in the crowd. I didn't see Kevin Rudd anywhere in this crowd. And I didn't see any other Labor member on the speaking list today to talk about what the government should be doing. They're happy to talk in private, but they won't come out here and address a public rally, which is almost without precedent. Now, they must fear what it is that you've had to say to them in private, and I hope that when they're watching their television screens tonight, they fear what you have to say to them publicly today as well. This is an issue that Ian McFarlane very succinctly summed up before. This is about you, about your children, about your family, and in this country, in Australia in the 21st century, this is about a basic democratic argument that this government has tried to switch off. And this, over the last couple of weeks, has been an opportunity for us to meet with people all around the country. Many people arguing the same view, but with many, many different backgrounds. You have a common message though, and that is a message that the Rudd government must today hear. You have to remain committed to that cause, to that commitment, to those words that you've had to us in private and in public over the last few weeks. This is not a debate that the Health Minister can just think she can do away with on a Friday afternoon. Yes. It's a clever political and media strategy to roll out news on a Friday afternoon hoping that everybody misses it. But the reality is that people haven't turned away from this rally today. They haven't been deterred from turning up in certainly not ideal conditions. But the reality is, for this government, they must continue to hear that message that you've espoused to us. So thank you to all of those people in a leadership role that have come to see us, to convince some people on our side of politics that your argument was compelling, and the way in which you put that argument. I thank you all for all the organisation that you've done. To people like Sophie Mirabella, Ian McFarlane, Andrew Lemming, to people like Sharman Stone, all of those people in our party room who have had very strong voices on this issue, I say thank you very much. This fight is only part the way there, with a long way to go. Remain committed to your core beliefs, but most importantly, remain committed to the basic beliefs that have driven this argument and need to in the future. Thank you very much for having me here today. Thank you.